Africa, welcome back to me, welcome back to Thailand. True Blue Thai here in Thailand. It's one put here in Thailand, which is Wednesday, and so I hope it's nice to see you guys. Well, I'll come again, and the transfer window is finally over. Well, no, it's not. It's because, unfortunately, we've got the Saudi transfer window and the Turkish transfer window open. So. And that still affects Man City, unfortunately, because again we've still got the flippy floppy Turkish clubs, etc. What you know, interested in City players, but don't get the job through. So, but from what I hear, even though it's not been confirmed, even though it's going to get confirmed, and everybody was talking about it, apart from the mainstream media, who are not saying anything about it, even though, for instance, everybody knows about it, is the fact that Donnarumma is a Manchester City player and Ederson's gone to Fenerbahce. So, quick word, Donnarumma, for instance, absolutely fantastic player, a fantastic goalkeeper, treble winner, a Premier League winner. He did his medical in Italy because he's on, for instance, in playing in Italy, for instance, for as Italy's #1 goalkeeper, playing for the international crap. And so wonderful, absolutely fantastic. I think a 30 million euro deal. I think we could have gone for a lot more. Man City also they also caved on the wages a bit. So, for instance, Man City's not going to break their bank about the wages, by the sounds of it, what I hear. I'm still waiting for the whole thing to be, because there's a lot of what people say, of who's in and how much is going to get paid and blah blah blah. But I believe it's a 5-year contract. But we'll have to wait until it gets Man City goes on the Man City website. But welcome to Donnarumma, international class goalkeeper, Premier League time, whatever, 26 years old. He looks a lot older than that, and absolutely fantastic with the old beard and whatever. But you know, a fantastic signing for Manchester City, really is. And well, look over the red side. They get some guy from Twerp. For 18 million, for instance, who's not on, even though he's not in Belgium's side because he hasn't won a cap yet for Belgium. Their new #1, or wants to be the new #1. So yeah, another fantastic signing. Way! How did Anthony has gone to where? But he's gone to Betis or something like that. A 60 million euro loss with United on that, you know, and honestly, they're such a joke of a club. They really are. I tell you something, if we lose to them after this, I'll go crazy. You know, like they can believe they're over £2 billion in debt, which just seems to go up, never seems to come down. They're spending money like this confetti. For instance, then they basically, for instance, and they blame everything on the Glazers. It's them spending stupid money. The Glazers probably saying, "Why the hell are you buying that for a million and then selling them for that?" You know, honestly, they're in the stock market, aren't they? What's it called, the Glazers? They're probably saying, "Why are you buying high and selling them low?" Yeah, I don't know. So it's just United's such a joke of a club. And for instance, and Sancho's on another move. So yeah, but let's go back to Man City. But United are such a joke. And and also Ederson. Carbon Cap Ederson, thank you very much for your service, sir. Absolute legend of a club at the Castancy using that word. Absolutely fantastic goalkeeper. Great with your feet. I thought Manchester City treated you badly. We were only paying you, and you were definitely, for instance, you deserve a lot more than what you did. You get of appreciation, and something needs to be. A road needs to be named after you. I don't think a statue must go, but a road or something or whatever. A bit of respect. You need to come back to the club and get a standing ovation because you won us the treble. Those last minute saves at the Champions League final against Inter Milan, etc. was legendary. It was, again, that word. But you absolutely, you will go with my blessings. Sad. I think you deserve a lot more. You deserve a lot more. You deserve to go into a like a Real Madrid or a PSG or whatever, like a club, because that's what you deserved. I do apologise in my heart, and I'm going to apologise for all those so-called City fans who dish you and dish your wife and talk bad about you. But you are an absolute 5-star man, really are, lovely bloke. Didn't get the tattoo thing, etc. But for instance, but you come across as a hell of a guy, and thank you very much for all your service. And I do hope that, for instance, that you succeed at Fenerbahce. Now Mourinho is gone, another United manager bites the dust. For instance, so for instance, I hope everything goes well for you and your lovely family. And thank you very much for your service, Mr. Ederson. And yes, you deserve a lot more than what you got. You know, what's it called? And you will always be fondly remembered by myself as a Manchester City fan. Okay, so apart from that. The screams for a right back never materialised. Man City fans will now talk about this and talk about our transfer window and talk about how the fact that we never got a right back. We never got you, and we're going to basically go into the season without a right back and a toss-up between Lewis or Nunes, unless AK-47 can play right back, would be wonderful. Unless we can come up with a solution to the right back. Maybe Agnori can play on the right, and Josko play on the left, I don't know. But we need to sort something out with the right back situation, but I just don't know. For instance, but that is going to be the talking point of most Man City fans, knowing that we haven't got a right back, and even though we needed a right back, it was always plain that we needed a right back. But the club is not listening. I don't know why. I don't know what the story is. Pep needs to be asked a question. Hugo Viana needs to be asked a question. Why you did not get a right back. So, for instance, so I'm not happy about that at all. But, for instance, I thought, exactly. So, no, I'm not happy at all about that. Right, let's pop into the biggest spenders of this transfer window, and guess who's number one? The cartel. Oh, sorry, you can't say that. No, you can't say that. Liverpool. They were the most. They have a spending and net spend. Oh my God, too many zeros to say. Liverpool number one. Chelsea number two. Arsenal number three. Newcastle, number 4. Number 5, the team who's bankrupt. They got no money. Jim was saying, we've had to get rid of hundreds of employees because we've got no money. Oh, yes, but the number 5 on the list of the net spenders. Oh, what the hell? How come, for instance, another wasted load of money they spend. Not Forest was number 6. Okay, so where are you thinking? Where's Manchester City? Man City, the team who buys the league. Where's Manchester City in this transfer window? Why the buying of the league? Oh well, they got their done in January or whatever. Like, oh no. So where is Manchester City in this disgrace of spending? Because we are the Manchester City who spend all the money. So let's go for number 7. Okay, that was Spurs. So Spurs spent more money than Manchester City. Number 8, Man City? No. Sunderland. Sunderland spent more money than Manchester City. Then Manchester City. Okay, we don't even make the double digits with our overall net spend, because we spent 152 million. For instance, received 54 million, and that's the reason why, because we can sell players at a profit, because we're a very, very, very well-run club. So we have a net spend of 99 million. So, for instance, which is a lot less than United, who have got 216 million spend. 68 million on received, but so the next spend is 148 million. So blah blah blah. Anyway, so after that came West Ham, Wolves, and then Bournemouth. Of the teams. So Manchester City was ninth highest net spenders in this transfer window. So right, okay. So getting back. Again, the transfer window is still not closed in Turkey. For instance, we were talking about the likes of what's his name, Gundogan of leaving City. Let's just have a quick look at Ederson arriving in Turkey. Eddie, you go mine with good graces. He looks happy. I hope you're doing well. You do well there. So thank you, sir, for all your assistance and help. Sorry guys. Absolutely fantastic. So I hope you do very, very, very well. Right, Donnarumma. So, for instance, yeah. Also, we've got Michael Akanji. I've got to speak to Michael Akanji before we come to what's his name? Gundogan. Michael Akanji joined Inter Milan on loan for a season. It's a bit weird deal, really, because he's not gone. He's gone on loan for Inter Milan on a season. Because I know Man City were down 2 players and are over what do you call it? Over, for instance, on our Champions League squad for non homegrown players, and with Mikel Akanji now on loan with an option to buy clause, but we're not so sure about how that's going to work out. Galatasaray is moving on Ilkay Gundogan. We think, as I said, Galatasaray have been saying this all down there, for Kingdom Come now. They're still talking about getting Ilkay Gundogan, and we still don't have anything concrete from them. They could, but this Galatasaray closed in an agreement with Ilkay Gundogan over Manchester City exit. So we still don't know, for instance, about that. So, for instance, is it a possibility? I think it probably is. Was it good again? We'll talk about, for instance, him and his injuries, for instance, but. Just hold that for a second. His injury. Sorry, I just looking at something there. We'll just talk about him and his and see his availability and how many games. I believe he wanted to stay, but I think he might be reluctant or whatever to go back. But we'll go to Turkey again against Turkish German, so for instance, so we'll see how he goes ahead again. For instance, we got another 10 days of that nonsense to deal with, we'll see how that works out. Bit of bad news yesterday, and more on top of the injury front is becoming really upsetting me now. For instance, because I hear that not only Kuzinov is injured, we've lost Shirky for 2 months, which is that's one hell of a thigh injury, and then for instance now AK is now out for Kazakhstan. Now for instance we've lost Rico Lewis and Nico O Reily to injury. And again we're early in the season, so right now we've got Phil Foden out, Guardiola out, Shirky out, Nico O Reily out, Rico Lewis out, for instance Kuzinov out, for instance flipping out, AK out. So we're talking 7, 8, maybe forgot one out already, and we're still in the 3rd game of the season. It's good that we got an international break. We got hope and pray that John Stones doesn't get injured while on England duty playing nonsense football. So but other than that, I'm very concerned about these injuries, and more injuries. We can get more and more injuries. So there's AK. He was withdrawn from Kazakhstan due to injury by what the coach says. Statement from the what did I say? Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan. Sorry, I do apologise. Did I say Kazakhstan? Uzbekistan he plays for. It was a stand. So he has an injury. It came off against Brighton, so so there you go. Eddie. But overall, apart from the transfer window in general, transfer window has been good. I put it as a 6, maybe a 7. We did address, because I'm combining the 2 transfer windows, the January as well as this one, because we did get rid of the unks, as it were. Not really the unks, it was to go replace the unks. We got Nico Reily, Omar Mamouche, China, Reinders, Turkey, Donnarumma, for instance, new goalkeeper. It looks like Ortega, by the way, what's the goal is still tipped to go out. He's determined to go, but we still hasn't gone yet. So he might stay until January. Ortega, so overall, apart from the right back, we got a left back in Agnori. So we I think we've done okay. I've done okay. I'd love to have seen Rodrigo in. That would have made a difference. And I don't have no problem getting rid of Savino, especially for 70 million, and we bought him for 30, and he's only got 1 goal. And so Rodrigo would definitely have been an upgrade. And and get me more confident on goals and somebody, for instance, who can do a job. Apart from I said the right back situation, etc., I think that's it. The squad as a whole, it needs to settle down. It needs to chill out, and it really does. It just needs to. For instance, we got issues, guys, and. It does bother me, but I do believe, for instance, A, we can sort out the injury situation, B, keep Rodri and Stones free from injury over this international snore. We've got, for instance, and then them coming back, etc. If we can get, now we know, for instance, who's going, who's staying, and who's gone. Hopefully Donnarumma will hit the ground running. And all these people who talk about James Trafford putting your nose out of shape and blah blah blah, well, I think you're talking through your backside. I listened to Craig Burley there on ESPN slagging off Man City. Manchester City, any massive club, big club, right? Top quality club will have competition for places. Will have more than one places. Sabino has to learn that, and the fact that I'm sure James Trafford knows that. The mere fact that everybody thinks now James Trafford will be a number 2 now for Kingdom Come is deluded, right? We have no idea how Donnarumma is going to settle in Manchester City. I hope he does well. I expect him to do well. For instance, but he also, James Trafford needs to learn his game. Right now, you can clearly see the fact that, for instance, the defenders are still uncertain because they've got a new goalkeeper. They're still used to Ederson, but now they've got to use. He's already made a mistake, but has he accounted for it? Was he responsible for anything what happened against Brighton? No, for instance, and I thought, but he needs games, and he's only still a young kid. He's still got a good 10 years in front of at Manchester City, for instance, to which he will become Man City's number 1, and I have no doubt England's number 1. But he probably needs time. And right now, for instance, when we're playing in mega important games, we need a guy, for instance, who's established. That's the reason why you get good quality goalkeepers. James, the future. Donnarumma is the now. So, for instance, and we need him. And he's going to learn from Donnarumma. He's going to learn from being at Man City. It's only his 2nd season in the Premier League. Got to give the time to the guy to learn. So all this nonsense about James Trafford will now be put out of shape and blah, Man City need to be hung out. This is not fantasy land. This is the Premier League. And you need to stop yapping on about how the fact that he was automatically going to come in and after next season, after Ederson. Crap. Absolute crap. Who said that? Did Pep Guardiola say that? No. Nobody said that. So don't talk about that. And James and Burley and everybody else is just talking through the backside, another stick to beat Man City with. The thing is, the James Trafford was, for instance, will learn from Donnarumma. Donnarumma is probably, I expect him to be a really top quality goalkeeper, and we need stability right now in defence, and we need somebody who can save a damn shot and save a penalty. And if you're getting the world's best goalkeeper, that's going to create stability in defence, and that's where we need that's what we need right now. Okay, and I'm damn certain James Trafford will probably realise that, and realise he will learn from Donnarumma, learn from his time at City, and be a future England and Man City number 1. But the moment right now, we need stability at the back, and right now we don't have it, and so that's the reason why we hope for Donnarumma to come in and do it. So anybody else say anything else, you need to go and shove it where the sun don't shine. So anyway, let's move on. As far as what's it called, the PSR, I've just been listening to Talk Bollocks as per usual, and James Cundy were talking about how the fact that, for instance, that it's been unfortunate, PSR, and how PSR has, for instance, stopped the likes of Aston Villa and Newcastle spending money and whatever, and they've had to sell their best players and all these teams and all this about PSR and everything like that, and everybody's crying. But one thing's clear, one thing is absolutely crystal clear for me in my mind, is that for PSR was here, come in to keep the status quo and stop Newcastle from getting up to the levels are into the red cartel, right? Clear. So they brought all these lies up the loose. Man City said, crap, this is rubbish, we'll take you to court, right? And then, for instance, and then one, and then, for instance, and then and the whole PSR thing is going to collapse soon anyway, right? And then Master Dick and all his mates with the red cartel are still going to come back and say what a PSR is, of the new PSR, whatever, to stop the likes of Newcastle and Aston Villa creeping into the red cartel. Okay, now the thing is, Newcastle's chairman and then the club and Aston Villa's voted for PSR, right? Then when Man City took them to the court and then they come back and rebranded the rules, even though Stefan Burson and even the likes of Simon Jordan, which I can't stand, said don't do it, whatever, they come back, they made a few little adjustments and then put it out to a vote, and Newcastle chairman and Aston Villa chairman voted for PSR again. So when you're talking about the fact that you can't spend because of PSR, and when Man City was to go and found out PSR was a load of crap, you voted for it again against Manchester City. And then you start there moaning about PSR. And I'm listening to Jason Cundy on TalkSport telling, yeah, PSR is so bad, PSR is terrible, like PSR. We knew, Man City fans, or Man City knew PSR was a load of garbage in the beginning, but you still voted for him. You still voted for it. So how the bleeding hell can you sit there and have a go at Manchester City or whatever, or and talk about PSR when your club voted for PSR, Aston Villa, Newcastle? You're in a position because you voted for us, for you believed in what the red cartel was saying, and now Liverpool can can go out and spend all this money. The Rags can still spend money like it's confetti. Arsenal, whatever, can spend money. The Spurs can spend money, right? Everybody can spend money. Even Man City can spend money, but because we're part of that, but we haven't. But the fact is, we're smart with our cash. The thing is, as I said, Newcastle have moaned and Aston Villa have moaned, but you voted for it. And next time Man City takes the Premier League to court on a deal, which is that you don't listen to Sky Sports, you don't listen to TalkSport, you don't listen to the bias BC, you don't listen to the mainstream media, you listen to Manchester City, because it's Manchester City who tells you that these things are now, these rules they're bringing out is to stop you from joining the elite clubs. So that's a PSR. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah. Guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Two blue time from Thailand. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Are you happy with our transfer window? Are you naffed off with Man City without the right back situation? And I'll speak to you tomorrow.